One of the unspoken challenges of writing papers is using the word processing software. Microsoft Word, the preferred program for the seminary, has many features and tools that, if known, will help you to properly format your papers. In this practical demonstration, I will show you how to use the power of Microsoft Word to format your Turabian-style research paper. First, download the Guide to Microsoft Word found on the SCS Writing Center's webpage. I suggest that you print out a copy to refer to during this presentation. The numbers on the title slides refer to sections of the guide. Next, download the Turabian 9 research paper template from the SCS Writing Center's webpage. How this template downloads depends upon your browser. Downloads are usually saved in your Downloads folder. Do not open the file at this time. Copy and paste the file into a more permanent location. There is a trick to opening a template. You don't want to just double-click on the file name and open the document. This will open a copy of the template, a new document based upon the template entitled Document 1 or 2. Don't confuse this with opening the actual template. Hover over the file name and right-mouse click on it to open the menu options. Select Open. The document that opens will have the template's name, Turabian 9 Research Paper Template. A word of caution. Any changes you make in the template itself will affect every document you create based upon the template. I suggest you only change information that is unchanging, like your name. Once you have made the necessary changes to your template, you are ready to open a copy. You will know it's a copy of the template because of the temporary file name Document 1 at the top of the window. This is a good time to name it. I like a bit of organization on my computer. I create a new folder for each class with the course number, course name, and the semester. I title the files with my last name and the type of assignment. If it is a research paper, I include the version, Draft 1, 2, or Final. I use this naming convention so my professor doesn't have to open the document to find out who wrote it and which assignment it is. Once you've named your document, click on the Show Hide button. Show Hide is a toggle switch, meaning you can turn it on or off. That shows you the paragraph marks as a backward P and other formatting symbols in Word, like spaces, the small dots or round circles, and tab indents as arrows. These marks do not show when you print out the document. I always turn this feature on when using Word. It keeps me from deleting important formatting like section breaks. Using the tools provided by the word processor is important. Microsoft Word is not a typewriter, so don't use it like one. First, we'll complete the title page. Type in your paper's title and subtitle if there is one. If not, delete the placeholder text, but not the paragraph marker. Next, type in the course name and number. Click on the down arrow on the calendar to select the due date of the assignment. The title page is centered on the page top to bottom and side to side. To control how the text is placed on a page, click on the Layout tab. Open the Page Setup dialog box. There are 3 sub-tabs: Margins, Paper, and Layout. On the Margins tab, you can see that the margins are set to 1 inch default. The orientation of the paper can be either portrait or landscape. This formatting can be applied only to this section. from this point forward or to the whole document. Because formatting can be limited to a section of your paper, knowing where your section breaks are and not deleting them is important. The Layout subtab allows you to control the vertical alignment of the text on a page, from the top, from the center, or from the bottom. Top is the default setting, but you can see that for the title page, the text is centered. This center vertical page alignment is also set to this section. The rest of the paper will have a top vertical page alignment. The Paragraph dialog box, accessible from the Home tab, is the most important tool you will need to know about when using Microsoft Word. From here, you can control the horizontal alignment of text in a paragraph: right, center, left. You can control the indentation for block quotes, the first lines of paragraphs and footnotes, and the hanging indent required for bibliographies. You can also control the spacing before and after paragraphs and the single or double line spacing. Many of these same features are accessible from the icons on the Paragraph box on the Home tab. Microsoft Word controls the formatting of text by imposing a style. This template includes styles for the paragraph, block quotes, headings, footnotes, and the bibliography. The most common style is called normal, which is what you use for the standard paragraph. If you start a new document without this template, you can modify any style to set any font or paragraph settings that you want. To change the style, right-click on it, select Modify, then Format. This opens a list of options. Usually, you will want to change the font or the paragraph settings. Styles are also useful when you want to format the subheadings for your paper. It's these headings 1, 2, and 3 styles which help you to generate the paper's table of contents. You can either cut and paste the headings from your paper's outline or type them in. As you add your headings, attach the corresponding style. You can easily apply or change the format of a heading by clicking on it, then clicking on the desired heading in Styles. Your outline's headings correspond to the headings in Styles. Capitalized Roman numerals are heading 1. Capital alphabet letters are heading 2. Arabic numbers are heading 3. Now that you have your headings attached to styles, you can use the navigation pane to quickly move through your document. This will open a left side navigation pane, which includes every heading in the document as long as they are attached to a style. Now we will see how these new headings affect the table of contents. The table of contents does not update automatically as you add headings. You have to manually update it. Go to the Reference tab, click on Update Table, and you can choose either Update Page Numbers Only or Update Entire Table. You can also click anywhere on the table. It will turn gray, and then right mouse click while you hover over the text and select Update Field. This update feature will add your new subheadings from the body of your paper, properly indented based upon the heading level you selected, and include accurate page numbers. While we are here on the Table of Contents page, I want to show you how to insert a tab stop. This is not the tab key on the keyboard, but a function that sets left, right, and center tab stops in a document. Tabs can be really handy for aligning text in a document instead of the tab key. It is tabs that insert the dot leaders and write justified page numbers in the table of contents. You can access the Tabs dialog box through the Paragraph dialog box. Enter your tab stop position in inches, the alignment, and the leader options. You must click on Set before you click on OK, or it will not save. Before we discuss the bibliography and footnotes, I want to show you a few more useful formatting features of Microsoft Word. Section and page breaks control how the different sections and pages of a paper interact. A page break is useful when you want to start text on a new page. It gives you more control than hitting the Enter key until a new page appears. You can also create a page break using Control-Enter. A section break can do two things: create a new section on a page, continuous, like for controlling columns, or create a new section on a new page. Creating sections in papers is useful when you want to do things in one section that will not continue to the next, such as page numbering. Imagine your paper is a series of linked containers. The section break next page helps you control what information has to remain contained on one page and what can continue to the next section. In the paper, you can see the title page is centered on the page, while the table of contents text starts at the top. The top alignment continues into the body of the paper, but the page numbers change format from Roman to Arabic. Footers are located in the lower part of the page within the margin area. They contain the page numbers. To access the footer, click on the Insert tab, Footer, and then down to Edit Footer. The Header and Footer tab opens so that you can make changes to the footer. The Previous Section and Next Section buttons allow you to navigate between sections. The footer note in the lower left of the page will indicate the number of the current section, which are created by the section breaks. The Link to Previous button will link or unlink the sections of the paper. When you click on the Link to Previous button, the Same as Previous note on the lower right will indicate whether the current section is linked to the previous section. Its absence indicates there is no link. Another setting is Different First Page. For example, this allows you to start the page numbering on the title page, but hides the page number from displaying on the title page. Page numbers are centered in the footer. Before you insert a page number, you need to format it. From either the Insert tab or the Header and Footer tab, click on Page Number. Select Format Page Numbers. In the Page Number Format dialog box, select the number format, Roman 1, 2, and 3, or Arabic 1, 2, and 3, and the page numbering, whether to continue from the previous section, depending where you are in your paper, or to start at a specific page number. Sometimes the document will not behave, and you have to start the numbering at 0. Next, you need to insert the page number. Click on Page Number and select Bottom of Page, plain number 2. You will want to remove the extra line. I don't know why the program adds this, but you can backspace to remove it. Another option is to go to the Home tab, click on the center text icon in the paragraph box. Go back to the Header and Footer tab or Insert tab and select Page Number, Current Position, Plain Number. Now we will look at how to interact with your text. When you cut and paste text into Microsoft Word from a website or a PDF, you may be bringing over unwanted formatting, which will interfere with the template. You can prevent this a few ways. Paste using the Keep Only Text option. Paste it into Notepad, good for stripping web page formatting, or if you find it already in the paper, use the clear formatting icon in the font section of the Home tab. When in doubt, you can always use Undo. If you have a tricky text that does not want to take some formatting, you can use the Format Painter to quickly apply the same formatting, such as color, font style and size, and border style, to multiple pieces of text or graphics. The Format Painter lets you copy all of the formatting from one object and apply it to another. Think of it as copying and pasting for formatting. Select the text or graphic that has the formatting that you want to copy. On the Home tab under Clipboard, click on Format Painter. Use the brush to paint over a selection of text or graphics to apply the formatting. This works only once. To change the format of multiple selections in your document, you must first double-click Format Painter. To stop formatting, press Escape. Change case keeps you from retyping text if it is in the wrong case, like in all caps. Highlight the text you want to convert. Select the capital A, lowercase a icon, and select the desired case. Sentence, first word capitalized, lowercase, uppercase, or each word capitalized. Changing a too long direct quote in a block quote is really easy. Place your cursor before the open quotation marks and hit Enter so that it's in its own paragraph. Delete both sets of quote marks. In the styles, select block quote. Do not use the Citations and Bibliography group in Microsoft Word. It does not allow you to control the formatting of the footnotes or the bibliography. Copy and paste in the citations for your paper's bibliography from the library catalog, research databases, or other citation generators. With your mouse, select all the citations. From the Home tab in Styles, click on Bibliography. In the paragraph box, select the Alphabetizing icon, sort by paragraph, click on OK. You can remove the hyperlink for a URL by clicking on the link, right mouse clicking for the pop-up menu, and selecting Remove Hyperlink. To break a long URL, you need to add a no width optional break. At the Insert tab, select Symbol, More Symbols, then Special Characters tab, No Width Optional Break. This allows a URL to break naturally at the end of a line using word wrap. This creates less problems with cut and paste into the address bar than using a space. To insert a footnote into your paper, go to the References tab, click on Insert Footnote. A footnote consists of two linked parts, the note reference mark and the corresponding note text. Microsoft Word will automatically insert a superscript number in the text and place the cursor under a 2-inch long footnote line at a corresponding superscript number. When you add, delete, or move notes that are automatically numbered, Microsoft Word renumbers the footnote reference marks. There are a few tricks you can use to format your footnotes. This should save you time and hassle. As you type your paper, add the citation to the bibliography. Then use the author's last name and page number for the footnote. For example, Smith, 56, period. This is called a short form note. If you have more than one work with the same author, add a word of the title, Smith, blue, 56, period. The formatting for the footnote is enforced in the template by the style footnote. Once the paper is written, you need to ensure that the first time you use a source, you have a full footnote. If you make your footnotes into endnotes, you can see all of them at once. Go to the References tab, open the Footnote-Endnote dialog box, convert to endnotes. When you are done, you can reverse the process. A split window is really useful. You can view and edit two sections of a paper at the same time, like the introduction and the conclusion, or a footnote and the bibliography. Under the View tab, select Split. A line will appear in the middle of the screen. You can move the line up and down at any time. Two sections of the paper are now visible. Use the scroll bars to move to the sections of the paper you want to view. The Split button acts like a toggle switch. Place your cursor in the screen you want to close when you turn off the split screen. Use the Review tab to make comments about and track changes to the text. You can use this when you are editing your own work or someone else's. Click on the Review tab, highlight the area that needs work, then click on the New Comment and type in the comment on the red shaded area to the right. Use Track Changes when you do not simply want to comment about a section of writing, but actually want to show or suggest changes to the text. To track changes, in the Review tab, click on Track Changes. When you type, Microsoft Word will type your changes or edits in a different color. You can then either accept or reject the changes. The Guide to Microsoft Word has many other tips, including keyboard and mouse shortcuts, embedding Greek or Hebrew fonts, merging several documents into one file, personalizing your quick access toolbar, and more. I hope that you have found this video on Microsoft Word helpful and can adapt it to your own processes. If you need help with researching or writing a paper, please talk with your professor or contact the SCS Writing Center in the seminary library.